Welcome everyone to Doctoral Mom. My name is Dr. Brittne Martin, and I have two fantastic guests today, Sheila Yarbrough, Dr. Sheila Yarbrough and her daughter Alexandria. So I wanted to have a discussion about generational art. So Dr. Yarbrough is very inspirational to me for a lot of different reasons. She is an author, an educated, an artist. She's a jack of all trades. And it's really nice to see her daughter as well, who's also an artist. So I wanted to sort of ask you to just give us a little bit about your background. Who are you, and sort of what projects are you working on now?
Well, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. I am so very proud of you, Dr. Martin. I have been in love with learning for as long as I can remember, whether, informal or formally. I can remember watching relatives, growing up in Mississippi, shade tree mechanics, working on cars and trying to figure out how can I help and what can I do, and wanting to learn about that. The other, watching my grandmother and other women in my family quilting and reading and writing. It was another way to open up worlds for me. And so I decided early on that I wanted to try to capture some of the world that I was learning about and put it in my own words. And as a teenager later, when I was feeling all angsty and upset, I could always try to write about, how the folks were making me feel, and that was important. Later, I put some of that away to pursue formal education. And now, as a person of a certain age and a certain time in life, I've started to recreate and started to share some of what I've been still writing all along, but not necessarily sharing. The artwork, something that I did early on, third grade, won a contest for art. Never really talked about it with anyone until I happened to mention it to you, and you encouraged me to pursue that more. The quilting, sewing, pieces, putting pieces together and creating an image that also captures history is something that definitely interests me. And then 2020 moving forward, something I'd like to do more of.
That's perfect. So I want to segue into your daughter a little bit. So you're also an artist. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and, again, some of the projects that you're working on as well?
I'm a junior at Homewood Flossmoor High School. It's located in South Suburbs of Chicago, and I'm very into the music program. I've been in choir. I was at choir in middle school. Started taking it seriously in 6th grade. But right now in my high school, I made the top choir in my school, and we're doing so much. We recently last year we went on tour to Italy. We have opportunity to travel out of the country, and that really was great for me because we got to sing in really old places. And we got to learn that music really took me on a journey that I never expected. So I have a lot to be thankful for with choir.
And I have to say, as a mother now and having a little girl, a 1-year-old, almost 2-year-old daughter, it's so nice to see this dynamic. It really gives me something to look forward to. And what's really encouraging to me is even though your art isn't the same, you're still doing something that's impacting a lot of people through singing. So can you tell us a little bit more about your poetry, some of the things that you're working on now?
Well, I just finished 2 poetry books. The first one was called Poetic Release because it was sort of this release of tension and feelings after, things like a job ending. I started to remember how much I enjoyed writing and connecting with people, and of course getting feedback, whether it was constructive in a negative sense or constructive in a positive sense. It was all constructive. So doing more of that, I have some short stories that I've been working on, and there's possibly one novel that might come out at a point in the near future. The other piece is I've been collecting material, and she knows, and she talks about me. I'm sort of this maximalist. I like images, and I've been putting together material, and I think I'd like to try to take up quilting the old-fashioned way, what I remember seeing, with the women in my family. So, and I'd love to be able to frame or hang some of those pieces at some point.
That's really great. I actually remember my mother and grandmother and myself, we would sit around and do the same thing. So it's nice to bring it back and to teach it to a new generation, and hopefully that tradition will continue as well. So if I could just ask you just really quickly and we'll wrap up, can you tell us the one piece of advice that your mother has given you that sort of inspired you to continue to sing?
I think maybe one takeaway is that my mom inspired me to, like, if you love it, like, go with it. Because, like, she's always pushed me to, she influenced music in me through, like, tapping my bottle as a baby and, like, putting me through voice lessons and piano lessons. And it really became something that I enjoyed. And now I look forward to going to choir at the end of the school day because it's our last class. And, like, it's given me something to look forward to, and it's really broadened my horizons. So I thank her for kind of getting me started.
That's perfect. And when we get back, we're going to have a special treat.
All right.
All right, everyone, welcome back. And we have Dr. Sheila Yarbrough and her daughter, Alexandria. And we have a really special treat. Alexandria has, she's going to bless us with a song. So I'm really excited to introduce her and to hear her art, her talent.
Okay, so this song is pretty well known. Ave Maria, sang at weddings, funerals, stuff like that. And it's very classical Latin piece, and so I learned it for my summer recital this year with my voice teacher. So yeah, I got it. Sing for you guys. So, yeah. Okay. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Ave, Ave Dominus, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus, et benedictus fructus ventris, ventris tui, Jesus. Ave Maria.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, this is Doctoral Mom, and my name is Dr. Brittne Martin. I'm so excited that you guys got an opportunity to hear from Dr. Sheila Yarbrough and her daughter, Alexandria. What a beautiful treat for us to hear her voice and to hear her art, and also to see how this mother-daughter dynamic really gives us hope for future generations. So I'm really proud to have had these two guests on my show, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for both Sheila and for Alexandria.
Thank you. Thank you.